Hello people, Gadi Adelman here. So yesterday on both Twitter and Facebook, I posted that I was going to be receiving a new weapon to add to my collection today. So I decided, because so many people started to guess, or at least try and guess, nobody got it right. Everybody was trying to guess what it was that I purchased. I decided to do an out-of-box video. So let's see what it was. The unveiling for all those people that guessed, even though I gave hints, nobody got it right. We have got, made by Star in Spain, the Star 9mm Star BM automatic pistol. And the first thing that everybody's going to notice is how much this weapon resembles the 1911. So first we open up the box. You've got the Star instruction manual, and of course, because it's from Spain, it's in Spanish, so this does us absolutely no good anyway. It comes with the original metal cleaning rod. When they import them, they do have to add the trigger guard, so it comes with a trigger guard. Don't ask me why anybody would want to lock a gun, but that's a whole other issue. Now, I've already gone through and put green tape. If you're wondering what the green tape is, that's covering the serial numbers. So there's your answer. Remove the import labels. This is the Star 9mm BM. First things first, let's clear the weapon, show that it is empty, because I know you've all heard this before, but anytime you are dealing with a weapon, always make sure it's empty, because I don't even want to tell you how many empty guns have actually shot people every year, because people don't bother to check. So this is the Star BM 9mm. Give you a little bit of background on it. A total of 217,682 Star BMs were made, and they were made between 1972 and 1992. Even though it does resemble the classic 1911, which is what I love about it, because it was based off that design, there are a couple of differences. First, you're going to notice it does not have back here the grip safety. There's nothing here. So even though it does have that beaver tail, it does not have the grip safety. Another difference, in addition, is the thumb safety on the Star actually disengages the sear, whereas it blocks the motion of the sear on the 1911. And while speaking of this thumb safety, I want to show you. This is just so sweet. It is easy to disengage with the thumb. It is not tight at all. You can feel it, you can hear it, and when it's disengaged, you do have, if you can see it on the camera, that red dot, red for dead. So you know that it's down and the safety is off. Another thing about this weapon, because of its age, you do not want to dry fire it. So we're going to lower that hammer slowly. And I want to go over a few things here. So, as I said, classic 1911 design. The trigger itself is a little bit different. The trigger does not work. A 1911 trigger actually goes back and forth straight on its axis, whereas this trigger actually pivots from a hinge at the top. So the trigger, to me, with trigger pull, is actually nicer than most of your classic 1911 designs. Something else you'll notice, it has an external extractor as opposed to the internal one on the 1911. I think it's kind of cool looking the way you've got the silver on the extractor mixed in with the rest of the weapon, but of course it all boils down to how it fires, right? We're going to take this out to the range. In my backyard, I do have my own range, and we're going to test this out. Unfortunately today, the weather is not cooperating, but hopefully in a couple of days, when the rain eases up, we're going to take this out to the range, and I will do a video on that as well and let everybody know how the weapon fires. Now, I do want to go over here. This is the original serial number, and it is a matched serial number. Over here, one is added by law. When it's imported to the United States, it receives a new serial number. So you actually have two different serial numbers on every gun that you're going to see out there. You may notice this here is where the logos were located by, depending on who owned this weapon, either the Spanish military or the Spanish police. And again, due to import laws, those logos have to be removed. Overall, though, this is a great feeling weapon. It feels great in the hand. Now, I did notice online a lot of people commenting that when firing the weapon, the hammer would actually come back and hit the webbing of their hand. And I think that really depends on the individual's size. I don't have pudgy hands, so when I grab this weapon, no matter how far back that hammer comes, it is not going to make contact with my hand. You may find it a little bit differently for yourself. It really, really does depend on the size of your hand and whether or not, I'd hate to say it, you're overweight. The weapon itself breaks down just like a 1911. The front bushing, everything, the interior. Now, when you drop the magazine will not fall all the way out. You actually have to pull it out, and that's part of that sear and safety that it has. There are online, you can find how by removing just this one side of the grip, there's a pin in there that you can remove. It does not change the functionality of this gun at all as far as affecting anything else other than that safety. And then when you push the magazine release, it will drop all the way out. I actually plan on doing that to this gun as well. I like that when I push that button, the magazine release, that it drops all the way free of the weapon so I can then put a new round in. But overall, this is just a great feeling weapon. It's a great looking weapon. It has stood the test of time. It really has. Since 1972 through 1992, it has been used, obviously, being from Spain, by the Spanish military and the Spanish police, as well as the fact that it was used by Libya in the Libyan Civil War, and it was also used in the Rhodesian Bush War. Now, prior to my buying this, I actually spoke with a friend of mine who is from Rhodesia, back when it was called that, and was in the military there. And we spoke at length about this weapon. And once he heard how much it was, he was like, oh, buy it. Just definitely buy it. I love it because of its look, its feel, and it has stood the test of time, and it's a classic. Right now, they've just received a new batch of these in the United States. You can find these for as little as $149 and up. Now, I chose to pay an extra $20, and I got what they call a hand-picked gun. The place that I purchased mine from, what they do is they will take 10 out of the crate, and they will pick the best of that 10, and that's the one you receive for the extra 20 bucks. Also included is the original box and manual. Sometimes if you buy those that are only in good condition, you will not receive the original box or the manual. I think it's definitely worth the extra 20 bucks to get a hand-picked one. This weapon is in fantastic shape given its age. And that is the other thing. If you look on the trigger guard, you can actually see this was made in 1977. So I've got an older one, and it does have some wear. It's got some holster wear. The bluing has worn off. Couple of nicks. But overall, the weapon is in beautiful condition. And it really, I mean, it feels great in the hand. And I can't wait to take this out to the range. As I said, it's going to be a fun day at the range putting some magazines through this. And I will definitely let everybody know how it goes. The main reason that I wanted to get this was my everyday carry piece is a Glock 26, which is the subcompact Glock. And the main reason that I wanted to try this weapon, let me clear the Glock for you, so you can see it's empty. The main reason was its size. This is such a thin weapon, just over an inch in width. With my body type, because I'm not overweight yet, I actually have trouble concealing this, even though this is my everyday carry piece. So what happens is, it's the width that's the problem. I used to carry a 1911 Combat Commander, and I never had a problem concealing it. This actually is more obvious when I'm concealing than my Combat Commander was. So I opted to see what this would be like as far as being able to conceal it. Now, if we were to put these side by side, you will notice, butt to butt, that the Star is a little bit longer. But when you compare the widths of these two guns, there is no comparison. Obviously, this has a staggered magazine, the Glock, so it is a lot thicker than the Star. And here's the interesting thing. In the holster, and this is a Klinger holster that is made for any small weapon, this fits nice, it's a good fit, it's snug, and it does not protrude from the end. Because of the width, or lack thereof, the Star comes all the way down, and it's loose because of the width difference between the Glock 26 and the Star BM. Now, I don't know if I'm going to use this as an everyday carry. That all depends on how it does at the range. From everything I've seen, the videos I've seen, the people I've talked to, I am probably not going to have any issues with it at the range, and it may very well become an everyday carry piece for me if it's going to conceal better because of how thin it is. So, having said that, it is a lot heavier. Obviously, it's all metal, unlike the Glock. And as we all know, if you've been in the military, you've heard this saying, ounces equal pounds and pounds equal pain. So there is definitely, I don't have a scale, but there is a huge, huge weight difference between these two weapons. If this is as concealable as I think it's going to be, I'll put up with the fact that it weighs a little bit more. Of course, that's easier said than done. We'll have to wait and see when I wear it for a full 8 or 10 hours on my hip. But as it stands right now, 8-round magazine, I don't think I'm going to have any issues with the weight any different than when I carried the Combat Commander, which is about the same size. So for $149 plus the extra $20 for the handpick, it is a really, really fantastic weapon. And the slide on this, I can do this with 2 fingers. It is so smooth and so easy. I can't wait to take it out to the range. So until then, I will let you know and post the video after we go to the range. Star BM 9mm from Spain. Look for them online, and we'll catch you next time.